So to introduce myself, I am Angela Kung. I own Angela Kung Acupuncture and Wellness Center. And we are across the street on the other side of the 5 freeway, right off Crown Valley. So we're in Mission Viejo. And so I started the practice 13 years ago, and I love what Dr. Burton said about taking his doctorship very seriously, and it's really about teaching. I really agree with that to the max. I wholeheartedly want to educate my patients about how to take care of their bodies, how to heal, and what's possible for them. Because in my experience throughout my entire life, I've wanted to be a doctor since the age of 6 years old. And I unfortunately see a lot of people going into what you would call, I guess, allopathic medicine, getting on medications, not knowing what else to do but listen to their doctor who says, you have to have this surgery, let's take your gallbladder out, let's just remove your thyroid, you have to take these medications for life. And it's been very unfortunate seeing people actually pass away from this and not really have answers. And so I actually switched gears after going through the pre-medical whole system and decided not to go to medical school. And later, to give you some background, I was an ice skater growing up, and I became a professional ice skater. And if any of you guys know Disney on Ice, I almost did that twice, being Mulan and Pocahontas. Just to give you a little bit of a fun story, but anyway, figure skating was my life, and so going to acupuncture for me really helped me. And acupuncture, as you know, is an energy medicine. It is something that most people think is woo-woo, and I totally understand, because as a child, when I was getting acupuncture, I'm like, how did that just heal my knee? How did that just heal my sprained ankle? Like, this is amazing. And so when I decided not to go to medical school, I ended up deciding that acupuncture was my path, because it really does serve the whole body energetically, as well as you know, we have emotions and we have a spirit. And so we are not just a physical body going in for a robotic checkup. So thank you for that. And so energy medicine is my thing. Acupuncture is actually a tool of mine, as well as all the Chinese herbs. I am an herbalist, and I help people get off their medications by taking Chinese herbs instead, and then healing their organs rather than healing their thyroid, rather than continuing to take maybe Synthroid or a high blood pressure medication or something like that. So for me, as an energy healer, I also consider myself a spiritual healer. If some of you guys are spiritual in the room, you guys might know what I mean, but this is fairly new to most people. And in this type of area, first of all, I do want to say I absolutely respect what Wolfgang said today, and all of what he said was so enlightening and just so exciting for me to hear, because for someone like him to have this brain and to have gone through what he went through with cancer, it really kind of paves your path in life, when you go through something like that. And for him to invent something like this, I'm so grateful for people like him. So along those lines, I went through my own suffering, and I've come to a place where I know how to help people clear their traumas, and I know how to help people emotionally. I know how to help people physically. There are so many things that we do at my office that will kind of blow your mind. Every day is a miracle. Every day, patients are experiencing miracles at my office, and I just love that, and I'm so grateful for that. But along what I was saying with Wolfgang's, his mind, his genius mind, is that he's doing his research, and he really does want specific answers, and he wants proof. And although that may not be my field in its entirety, because Chinese medicine in itself is an art, and so is energy medicine, that's where I lean on people like him and things like finding out about something like this technology. So I'm super grateful for this mat, because it also, like Dr. Burton, has become sort of an add-on to help patients. I mean, they can come in just to use the mat too. But we have patients that are excited, that are buying packages along with their acupuncture or other services that we offer to help them with their health and start healing their cells and getting them, more energy. And I do have a few testimonies to share on that. So one of my newest doctors on my team, she apparently had back pain for years. And she got on the mat, and I said, you know what, I really want you to try this mat because, we're offering this to all of our patients. And, I set her up on it. Well, the next day, we were talking, and she said, I just realized that my back doesn't hurt today. And I was like, really? I was like, that's awesome. And so a week goes by, and she says to me, it's been a week, and my back pain has not come back. I'm like, wow, that's awesome. And so the whole office, I've got an amazing team at my wellness center, and everybody's hyped up about this machine. And so I'm super excited to be here to hear more about it and go back and share some more of this information. Well, another one of my employees, she was like, oh my gosh, I want to try it. So she gets on the mat, and the next day she had this raving testimony about how it detoxed her, and she had this, first she did have back pain too. She said that cleared, and she had something about her energy. She was in esthetician school, so she's one of my part-timers. And she said in esthetician school, someone said something to her, and she just broke out crying. And she's like, that's not normally like me, but I felt like something was releasing. And so energy clearing is real. And I don't know if you guys have ever experienced, an emotional sort of release, but that's kind of what she was having. And she had this vitality come through her. And she said, I don't know what came through me, but I just had all this energy. And so I was wanting to share that because every patient, every person is going to have their own experience. And just like Wolfgang saying that he didn't really feel the energy of the original mat that he tried until 6 weeks in. I mean, think about your body takes a whole month maybe to even start healing something that you've gone through for 1 year. So if you've had a chronic disease or illness, I mean, you can't expect results right away. However, I will say this machine is so amazing that maybe you will experience results right away. So the other thing I want to say about the machine is, I work a lot. My husband kind of calls me a workaholic, which I am trying to balance because I do want to promote balance in people's lives. And so I can get pretty tired. By mid-afternoon, I'm kind of falling apart a little bit. And so I might find 10 minutes, just 10 minutes, and I'm like, okay, guys, I'm out. And I tell the whole team, you're not going to find me. I'm going on the mat. So I lay down on the mat, and I literally felt like I slept for a year because that mat puts me out, and I'm super sensitive to energy. But I'll put it on a high intensity, and I'll get up from that mat ready to attack the next 4 hours of patients. So I'm so grateful for the mat for that as well. And I'm sure some of you guys have great experiences. I don't know, again, a ton about how to answer maybe technical questions, but I will say I'm very excited to be using it. And